millets, they are really helpful for people. A lot of people, we suffer from inflammation, we suffer from weight gain. Diabetes is a very, very, very prominent problem in India. And all these can be cured or at least kept in check and balance with millets. So it said like at least 30% of your diet, if it's millets, it really helps you in weight management. It lowers your, it has low glycemic acid, that glycemic index, which is lowering your risk of diabetes or controlling blood sugar. It also has a lot of minerals. It has fiber. It's gluten free. So it keeps your gut really good. It keeps you fuller for longer. So it helps in weight management. So there's so many ways. And I also stand for sustainability. I think millets is one of the grains which add to sustainability, a sustained environment, which is really important because they do not grow in they do not really need, maybe a lot of rain to grow. They can grow in drought. During drought also, they've supported us. They can grow in places where it's too hot, but no rain. So in extreme conditions also, and they can grow, and they have, the risk of getting pests or insects, it is also very low in this. So this is like, it's a survival grain which has fed us for millions of years, because it's so ancient in India, in Africa, and a lot of other continents. So definitely it adds a lot, and I'm making a lot of recipes since the United Nations has declared 2023 as the year of millets. I've been trying a lot of recipes, and it is really working. I'm also eating and consuming millets. So to start eating millets, I'll make it really simple for people who are interesting to make this little switch in their mind. I think it's all about a perspective. But I always say, like, when you're trying a diet, you should always go for something which is, go step by step. So add these millets to your morning breakfast, or, you can grind it into flour. You can make breads out of it. You can make simple idli, upma, dosa with it. It's really nutritious and loaded with antioxidants, minerals, protein, fiber, minerals like, say, iron or magnesium, which generally, we pop in a pill to have, or to, kind of balance it in our blood, in our bodies. You can get it from millets. So, I mean, how easy and simple that is. So just start with like one meal of millets, and you see the difference in your body. And definitely there'll be tremendous change.
Thank you so much, Shipra ma'am. My next question, taking it forward, would be to Dr. Jagmeet. Ma'am, from the clinical point of view, from the nutrition and health point of view, how can incorporating millets into the diet, especially in this modern lifestyle, would help us combat various, health issues that we are having, especially people who are having health-related issues from refined grains and stuff. So how would incorporating millets help in the overall health of the modern man or woman?
Yeah, at the outset, I congratulate everyone on the commencement of the National Nutrition Month. And thank you, Dr. Asavari, for picking up such a relevant area, which is also the theme which, we are celebrating, being the International Year of Millets. So to my mind, as a nutritionist, I feel that the major concern of Indians when it comes to whether it is health or disease, I think that we are carb people, and we just cannot do without our carbs. So here is a solution where we can get quality in carbohydrate, and because they are satiating, we can quantify the quantity. So both the things are very important for Indians. A, they cannot leave their carbs. B, they need to learn to ration the carbs. So 3, they need carbs which can be rationed, and yet they are giving the quality. So if you look at the nutrient density of millets, starting from the type of carbohydrates which are there in millets, they are high in dietary fiber, they are high in resistant starch. So the glycemic index definitely is much, much lower. In addition to that, they are very good sources of proteins and micronutrients, what Shipra said, that yes, we talk of calcium, we have iron, we have magnesium, we have zinc. So whether you talk of cardioprotective or immunity, and more so, the impact it has in the gut environment. So it works at the receptor level. And today we all know our health is what our gut health is. So if by consuming millets, and there is an ICMR recommendation that we need to ration the total cereals which we consume. So in a plate, you don't see only cereals. You see half your plate filled with your vegetables and fruits. You want them to be seasonal, colored. You definitely want a protein food to be there. And there is a 1/4 of the plate which is having your cereal grains. And the recommendation is that 30% of that portion, if you can replace it by millets. So it may be a very good idea. If not every day, you can make it, 3 to 4 times in a week. And what is most beautiful about this Nutri cereal is that it is native to different ethnicities. So there's not one millet which we can talk about. We can talk about a range of millets which are available in India, and every nook and corner of this country has a native millet. So definitely we all know the goodness of the millet, but the challenge is how to convert it into a form, that is easy to use in the variety of preparations which you make. But that's where, like chef like Shipra can help us, as to how is it that, we retain the goodness. See, in terms of processing, we should not lose the goodness of the grain. That's something very important. And that's where we nutritionists need to team up with, other stakeholders, and especially industry, to ensure that whatever products which we shelf, in this country are not only just millet based, but they are actually delivering what the goodness of millet is and what we really value the millets for. So I think definitely we are looking at millets giving us a lot of benefits in terms of total health and keeping all the diseases at bay. And I think I may just add here that, we just recently did some work, a randomized controlled trial in the city of Mumbai, where we screened close to 30,000, adolescents and young adults in the age group of 18 to 25. And you'll be shocked to know that 30% of them were pre-diabetics. And a lot of them who were pre-diabetics had a low BMI or a normal BMI. So, to look at, a person may feel that, absolutely normal. But when you go down and see the body composition, see the levels of inflammation, that's where the problem is brewing up. And inflammation is the first step towards heading to a non-communicable disease or a chronic disease. So I think I would probably set the tone just by stopping here and then come back later. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jagmeet. You were able to help us understand this topic in great detail. We will come back to you on the specifics of different population with specific diseases and how millets are supporting them. But before that, let me ask a question to Dr. Shweta. So, ma'am, being a senior advisor on nutrition with Jipaigo, your work focuses on life course approach. So can you please help us understand from women's health perspective, as more than about 2/3 of Indian women are suffering from diseases, lifestyle diseases such as pre-diabetes and PCOD, being the biggest one, 60% of women suffering from that. How can millets help in different stages of their life, combating these sort of lifestyle diseases which are on such a rise that, it is a very common thing to hear that, okay, I have, obesity, I'm suffering from PCOS, and people don't even question their lifestyle choices or their habits or food in general. It is such a normal thing now, which is saddening. So how can millets help women in that aspect?
Thank you for your question, Dr. Sawant. And I, first of all, thank all the organizers for putting up this topic, which celebrates not only the National Nutrition Month theme, but also overall India's ethnic grain, which is millets, and something which we all, like we are talking about. I think it has gained popularity, whether we believe it or whether we don't. Even nutritionists here, with all due respect to everybody, I would say that we have gained together, we have come together doing more advocacy because it is announced as an International Year of Millets, to be honest. So it was not that we did not know this before, but I guess we were somewhere slackened. So I guess jo dikta hai, wo bikta hai, thoda sa, if we say that. So I guess it's important, like Dr. Madan pointed out, like the other panelists pointed out, I think it's important first to, before going on to the, the life cycle approach per se, realize that millets per se is not the panacea. It's not one solution for everything, right? So please remember, we are talking of public health nutrition improvement for maternal and child health. So right now we are focusing on women, absolutely, but and we are focusing on millets. So that connection, absolutely, but please bear in mind that that's not the only solution for everything. So because sometimes you will understand that panels like this, the message to the industry, while coming together for creating creative solutions, should be there. It should not be to make ragi chocos or things, something which has got extra ultra processed sugar, fats, and things which we do not as nutritionists will endorse. So with all that disclaimer on one side, I think it is very important that we talk about millets today, because like Dr. Madan pointed out and gave a lot of rational and very valid points about supporting this in the current context, the current thali that we say. So I think somewhere all the stakeholders will need to put in their bit. We as nutritionists and public health professionals will require to advocate about the health benefits, yes. About the connections or evidence generation with different diseases, yes. Because right now, the evidence, like I was just generally doing, we were asked to do some review work and we were doing some work. There are some sporadic studies on millets which are showing a limited impact on anemia, yes. Some fiber component, yes. Some calcium, yes. Some other small sort of things. But because, please remember, Asawari, that this is a generation which is also bearing the brunt of climate change. We are also facing a huge challenge of water losses. And why women? Because women, chahe jo bhi bol lijiye, they are the feeders, they are the caregivers, and they are the nourishment providers to a large extent right now. Of course, men will do their part, but still in India, at least in our country, we are at the central, sort of pivot. So it's important that we realize that by doing one change, that is replacing, like Dr. Madan was saying, replacing a little bit of your normal refined grains with this in the house, making it a welcome change, we are not only doing these 4 C's, like, coarse grain hai, because so therefore it's beneficial for health. It's climate friendly, it's cost friendly. Like we are doing all these costing, we know compared to other grains, this is much better. Climate, I already told you. And also 4th is cardioprotective, because it has so many beneficial, and it's also called naturally biofortified mineral. So I think somewhere we, rather than taking pills, we eat our normal dosa, samosa, whatever we are eating, which is also very good. Sometimes you require that, but after that you eat a supplement pill. So rather than that, right on your plates, you have solutions. So I would, with that, come back to now the life cycle approach very briefly and tell you that at every stage, apart from the 0 to 6 exclusive breastfeeding, apart from that, all the other stages there are ways, and like nutritionists and the chefs are here, they will tell you right from powdered form to different khichdi to different ways, this can be incorporated in our daily diets. You are absolutely right that the palatability, the sensory appeal is something which is challenging. People in the north, for example, are still trying to get it, because many times when we interview people, the qualitative perspective is, we try to say, okay, sometimes this is fine, but I say it's all right. Sometimes introduce it, sometimes also let it come into the system. the moment it comes into the system, it will, sort of pick up, I feel, because it has so many benefits, it cannot go out of fashion. I'll stop here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shweta. We will also come back to you for gathering more details. But my next question is to Chef Rakhi. So, ma'am, as we are seeing, we are talking about in Indian context, and India is a very culturally rich country wherein we have lots of food options with varying, areas. The palettes and the entire cuisine entirely changes. And also, India is a country where food is used as a form of celebration. People enjoy coming together, people enjoy eating, and certain food items are associated with certain feelings and, celebratory purposes. So how can we incorporate millets more and more to such a country in which food is such a, wide necessity, or the essence of the country, where food is the essence, and also make millets more fashionable in a way, just the way fast food is fashionable, just the way takeout coffee from certain brands, I'm not naming any brands, but are fashionable, and is seen as a good thing in the society and in minds of people. How can we make incorporating millets into the everyday food items more fashionable or more popular? What would be your thoughts?
So first of all, a very good afternoon to all my fellow panelists. Really happy to be on this panel, and I'm so happy that we each getting to share our own perspectives and our own thought processes, and that kind of helps us to gain better knowledge. We all here to learn from each other, honestly, because it just kind of makes our thought process even more open and wider. So honestly, the question that you've asked me, that question has already made a change. So a lot of chefs, in fact, that I know, my colleagues who I'm working with, even the newer age generation, the ones which were even earlier on, have already made that change. It's not only the mother, it's not only the healthy nutritionist, as well as the your instructors who are telling you, hey, you should be eating this, you should be eating that, or a diabetologist or a thyroid doctor or something, but it is these chefs from all the genres who've already made that change. Because according to me, I have seen it a very important aspect in our academy. When I don't know how many of you all know that we run Palette Culinary Academy. I'm the founder, and we have 2 UK accreditations, but at the same time we teach from 4-year-olds to 8-year-olds. So for us, we have the most wider scope. Like I have taught a Bollywood Malaika or an Arjun Kapoor or a Uma Qureshi from Kriti Sanon, and a homemaker and a uni-going kid. So I have seen a uni-going kid also who's learning cooking for survival when they're going internationally, learning healthy stuff, because they themselves are self-conscious. Sometimes it's the parents, sometimes it's the students themselves. So we see a whole range of people. And with the chefs, what they've done is they've actually incorporated in their everyday restaurant cuisine also. So if you go to see all the news, so cafe culture is a latest sprouting culture right now. So everywhere you go, you'll see, even in the suburbs or in town or any other metro, you'll see a lot of cafes, even in tier 3 cities I've seen. So as vegan has taken a big jump, in that millet is in fact the top runner. So whether it's a salad, whether it's in a risotto, everyone loves a risotto. But it's not only now, but I think 15 years back, around 10, 12 years back, I've been doing a Bale risotto. I mean, if you go to a restaurant like an Indigo or a cafe, also they would do a mushroom Bale risotto. So yes, it can be incorporated in every cuisine. And like the taste factor, of course, every millet has its own flavor profile. It has its own way of working. What I like to do mostly is, millets are very easily, they need to be soaked. Secondly, you need to toss them, roast them, or you can boil them. My first thing to every mother or every person I have taught when we're doing a recipe, I say that use stock instead of water. Because if it is your daily habit, you know how much water goes into your rice. And if you've done it 2 times, you know how to, even when brown rice came in, everyone had to adapt a little, right? They were like, oh, okay, it takes very long. But after you've done it 2-3 times, everyone knows exactly how much moisture content goes in, how much time it takes. Same thing goes with your millets. The same way it was with quinoa. My first suggestion when we are in a culinary school, we learn is everything, your flavor profile and your nutrition comes with a good stock, whether you're a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian, right? You don't need to be a non-vegetarian, but even a vegetarian stock. Why do children at home, when you tell them that, hey, I've made, so I don't know how many of you know, but my first book is Picky Eaters. I was a picky eater myself. So for a picky eater, for children or for people who don't want to eat, you can't put it on their face and say, please eat this. They don't like that. You have to make it better for them. So the book was all about what I made for my kids. They always love fancy meals. If they want to go to the restaurant and you don't want to take them, then bring the restaurant home. Because at least you know your nutrition, your freshness, everything that you are putting in is much better. That said, I mean, I'm not saying you don't need to go to the restaurant, but yes, children want to do it on a daily basis. So when you tell your child, hey, I've made soup today, they already make a face. But the minute that soup, why is that soup different? But the minute you go to a restaurant outside, they're very happy to have a soup there, because it's presented well. The Asian soups are really tasty. The stock makes a difference. The presentation makes a difference. So how difficult is that, So that's what I did. And bring those recipes home in a better manner so that at least your children are incorporating that in your daily diet. So across the genre, in every form, every restaurant, we've seen millet in every form, whether it's in a cereal, whether it's in a granola bar, whether it's in an Italian cuisine, whether it's in the flour form, whether it's sprouted, whether it's, it goes perfect. So South Indians have been giving their toddlers ragi and kuttu from the time they first start eating their meal, right? They've been doing that. Navratras, the most important festival in India, we celebrate. So I remember when I didn't even know, I was younger, I was maybe 14 and 15, and I used to fast for 9 days. And we used to, go to our, friends' houses and do darshan for Mata. And I remember having sama ka chawal as a pulao at that age when I didn't know about it. My mother had no knowledge about it. But we've been eating these kind of grains actually. It's there in our Indian tradition. It's just that now these panel of people along with us and so many more people are just bringing it in the forefront. And then I feel it's not only the chefs, a mother is the best person to make the best recipe for her family and for her kids. So she's top notch. So is a chef along who's working in their cafe or a restaurant to bring it out to their consumer. So I think we've been doing a lot with it. The flowers are great. Every time now we are doing a high tea event or something, we are doing millet crackers. I'm doing the Anu Food, which is the biggest exhibition in F&B, and I'm running the whole Kalini Theatre. And millet is in the core of our this. So we are doing a millet-based baking session, millet-based and less sugar, as doctor said also, that, even the sugar needs to be maintained. But being a teacher, I would just say one thing. I use everything in limitations and however, because I would get a student who would want to make the most tastiest and heavy duty food. At the same time, I would get someone who wants extreme low calorie. And in the same time, I'll get someone who's in between the category. So for me, as a teacher, I need to just know the best knowledge to put forward, and everyone gets to decide what they want.
Thank you so much, Chef Rakhi. And before moving on to Ms. Nimanshi, who is our representative from the FSSAI, but as we were discussing on making millets more popular with Chef Rakhi, my next question is to Ms. Shipra Khanna very quickly. So, ma'am, if I can have the next question with you, that most of the parents, our wider audience is the parents of younger children for these shows that are interested in incorporating these good food and healthy eating options into their children's diets. But even after millets getting promoted from as the grain for the year, as well as all the advocacy behind it, millets are still under a very gray scale of understanding for common everyday parents. They have this misconception or belief that if I were to reduce the normal grains and add millets instead of that, my children won't accept the taste, I won't be able to mask the difference in the taste or the palate that comes out, and thereby my children won't even consume the product. But as of now, at least he's eating the wheat or rice based product that I have made. So how can we combat this sort of struggles? And also, to all our viewers that are watching, if you can run us down to popularly sourced millets that are available in Indian grocery stores, bifurcating them in the North India and South India majorly, so that people have a basic understanding what all are available and what we can make it out of it.
Okay, thank you. So, the thing is that there are variety of millets, okay? And I do believe like we are having this amazing event. I think it's a very good step towards instilling awareness in people about millets, right? And this is just the beginning. I mean, little by little, it's only going to grow. And, actually with anything new that you start in life, and that's like common denominator to everybody, it always takes time to grow. So like little by, like how you say, like little by little, little drops of water make the ocean. It's the same way with anything that's new or available, whether it's a food fad, health fad, anything at all. So even from nutritional point of view, because where I see that people really like easy food, easily accessible food, they want to fill their stomach, they don't really care, it should be delicious. And there's just a very small fragment, who are really conscious or eating mindfully. So obviously, if there's a pav bhaji or there's a chane bhature, your first thing is like, oh my God, I'm going to eat this. Than like a bajre ki roti with dal and all of that. You have to be really mindful, and in that phase where you can first consume it yourself. I think parents who are like really fond of food, like my parents, for example, they are really big foodies, and we have like an array of dishes for every meal. So I've just been telling my mother, like, little by little, just start introducing millets in your diet and all of that, and keep sharing recipes also. And there are many platforms. I think at least I know about myself, I can speak about myself, that I'm really trying to introduce new millets to everybody, and they can definitely consume it. And the way you have to consume it, number one, the common thing about millets is that you have to soak it overnight and then cook it the next morning. Otherwise, it's going to take really long to cook. And that's like number one rule. Second is we have a variety of millets, like say pearl millet, which we call bajra. It's very common down south, and even in the north, because it works as a grain that beats winters, right? Like beats the cold outside. So it kind of balances your body. Then you have rhodo millet. You have little millet. Very easily you can cook it. It's really small, fine grain. You have jowar. You have barnyard millet, which is also sama rice that we eat during the Navratri fast. All of us consume it. And it's really easily cooked. The idea, you have to understand the idea of introducing millet in your diet, right? Like, say, for example, your problem is that the kids are not eating. Well, you don't have to cook everything that you cook with wheat or rice. You shouldn't think of, substituting it with millets. But few things, yes, you can. Definitely, yes. Like, for example, ragi idli. Okay, ragi is one of the millets which is really high in calcium, which is good for women. Because with aging, you lose calcium in your body, and osteoporosis is one of the biggest problem. I'm sitting amongst doctors. I don't have to, say everybody knows this, but it's got really good fiber, antioxidants. So say if your problem is introducing it into your child's diet, then maybe you can, add, kids love colors, right? You can add a dash of spinach to make it green. You can add a little bit of beetroot to make it red. You can make it in exciting ways. You can make like pancakes out of it. So I did a show. It's going on. It's called Roots on My Platter, and it's on TLC and Discovery Plus. And what I've done there is making a modern meal with millets. And the recipes are really astounding. And it's, so say, for example, ragi pancakes or ragi waffles for that matter. Kids love all this fancy kind of things, and, they know their friends are eating. And nowadays, kids are not the same, which, like say a decade back. They're way smarter than we think. So you have to kind of play along, and make it really fun to introduce something in their diet. So maybe idli is too boring for kids, but I know kids who love idli because it doesn't have spice, it doesn't have anything, it's very mellow flavor. So they like it. But waffles, sure shot they like. Or pancakes, sure shot they like. So, make food interesting and introduce. You don't have to make it every day. You can just do it once a week. Actually, the another thing that I would like to highlight, but since we're talking about health and well-being, right? Like millets being a part of it. The second thing is that, the portion size that we eat is way more than what is required by our bodies. So even if you're having like 1 week, one meal you're giving to your child who he or she is enjoying thoroughly, whether it's I'm insisting on pancakes and waffles because I know children love it. And plus with that, you can actually make them consume some fresh fruit as well. Not all kids are like fond of fruit, right? And beetroot and spinach are one thing, like, it's difficult for kids to just eat that because, knowing it's nutritious, but kids are like little fussy. They like little fun things to eat. They'll go for a burger than say a ragi ka paratha. Come on. So you have to make it sound interesting. You have to make the recipe interesting. And I think all of us as chefs, at least me, I'm trying to make a lot of recipes with this. And it's really amazing, fun as well as, see, traditionally, once as human beings, once you're an adult, you do understand that your body needs, I don't want to say everybody understands, but some of them are conscious enough to understand what your body needs and they'll try different recipes. Some people are just they just like this and that's it. They will not mold, So for people like that, you can maybe start little by little, especially children. And then, I mean, it's actually worldwide people are consuming it because, these ancient millets they're available in a lot of continents. So as we're promoting, I think people are just being aware. I think the first step is awareness as much as, these events that we are doing or these online sessions we are doing with like all these reputed people. It's really amazing that the step has been taken and, people, it is coming in people's mind. I'm also doing a radio show. So, we're always talking about something healthy and people do call me or message me like, oh, I got this recipe and all. I'm like, yeah, because I think just conscious eating, holistic living is the new motto, should be the new motto.
Thank you.
I would like to add something there.
Yes, please.
Also, so the other thing also, like, the similar thing that what even I was saying, that with the kids and with people, we never add millet completely. So the whole idea is to incorporate it little by little. So when you go to a fancy restaurant, you'll see the chef has done a millet-based salad. So then they do a combination, like, I would do a lovely Mexican bowl, which is, I will do a little bit of rice, but then at the same time, I'm adding a combination of millets to that. I'm making it tasty. I'm going to add the
yeah.
I'm going to do the sour cream, the crema. I'm going to do the avocado. I'm going to make it look exciting with a little bit of shashlik on top. So it looks like this amazing Mexican burrito bowl with the chips and all. But that's what I say. So if you're doing even millet crackers, no one uses the full 100%. It's always a combination that you start doing. So I feel all good things should come in smaller doses first. If you're introducing it to your family, it has to be in a smaller way till you completely, change it over. Like I was telling you about, so how she was talking about bale, the pearl. It's actually kabutar ka khana. Do you know that? It's so humble, but why is because it's the cheapest, but it has a lot of nutrition. So you will see even in China and all, they will, there are many of these people, they would make a lovely broth out of it, which is so wholesome and nutritious because that's what they could afford. Even in Rajasthan, how they do it. But here also, you will see in all the fancy restaurants, you're seeing a risotto being done. It's there in a salad. It's there all over, So I say it's always a combination which gives us better results.
I think I just like to add to what Rakhi and Shipra said. See,
Yes,
as chefs, you are thinking of combining ingredients, but as a nutritionist, I'm looking at what's happening to the matrix so far as nutrition is concerned. So, what we call this as sometimes food to food fortification. So if I'm combining a millet with maybe wheat, in that ratio, I'm doing that food to food fortification and I'm doing that value addition. Similarly, if I'm combining a millet with a pulse or a so then that millet pulse based combination is complementing the protein. So you are enhancing the quality of protein. And when you are doing this along with adding a lot of fiber through variety of like what veggies or and making it interesting. So even nutritionally, I'm looking and analyzing what is happening to this matrix which we are playing with. So, and at the end of the day, the bottom line still remains that whatever we do should be acceptable, and palatable. So,
Exactly.
yeah, so that's what, if the nutrition science and the chef's creativity comes together,
Yes.
I think you can just create magic.
So what I like to do with ragi, so even now Ganesh Chaturthi is just around the corner. So what we do is so ragi, as everyone knows, it's quite strong when you just take it by itself. So whenever I use it in baking or I'm going to be making the modaks, I'm going to use a combination of dry fruits. Yes, I will put the ghee in it, but what I like to do is combine it with oats. So what happens is that kind of mix, if I'm baking, the oats adds the little bit of rice because ragi is heavy. So oats gives me that little aeration because many of the people in India want, again, eggless as well. So that's another big challenge, that many people don't want anything in baking. They want ragi, they want healthy, they want gluten-free, but they don't want with eggs also. So I feel oats go really well with ragi. So if I were to bake, I would do like a ratio there, I would add a 30% of oats there to make it slightly lighter. Again, like as ma'am said, make it palatable, the combination. The whole idea is like I said in my book as well, you don't just tell your child, please have this. Even like how Shipra said, the spinach and the beetroot, the waffle, you want to make it fun. So like South Indians, I mean, we've been seeing down south also when they're doing all this base atta, it's always added to the fermented rice atta. You see, so it kind of lightens up, it gets better, it's tastier as well, and it's not that heavy also. Because if you've not consumed it for so long, you can't take that whole bowl by itself. You've got to have it in smaller percentages, mixed like she said, the fortification. That's a new word I've learned, so thank you so much for that. I'm going to add that to my next topic then.
Thank you so much, Chef Rakhi and Chef Shipra Khanna. I would also like to thank from IHW Council to Master Chef Shipra Khanna for being our mission ambassador for the Bharat Nutrition Week and partnering up with us for the entire week on various different activities, also sharing amazing recipes for the channel. Thank you so much. So we got point of views from nutritionists, from doctors, from Dr. Jagmeet and Dr. Shweta, as well as from chefs, Ms. Shipra Khanna and Chef Rakhi. But a very important point of view that we are going to observe now is from Ms. Nimanshi, who is the Manager of Social and Behavioral Change Division for Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. So from Ms. Nimanshi, we would really want to know that, these different initiatives and millets being, classified as the grain of the year or the food item of the year has been getting the voice that it requires for this year. But what are different activities that FSSAI has been actively involved in promoting millets? If you could share some initiatives and strategies that are being undertaken to raise awareness from the same, and also if there are any other considerations regarding, reaching out to more and more people for this in this regard. Over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. First, I would like to extend my warm gratitude on behalf of FSSAI to Integrated Health and Wellbeing Council and to all panelists. From FSSAI, there is a tagline, Sahi Bhojan means Behtar Bhojan, Swasth Jeevan. With this tagline, FSSAI launched Eat Right India movement in 2018. And under this movement, there were many initiatives which with objective to create awareness among the Indian citizens, like Eat Right School, Eat Right Campus, Eat Right Station, Eat Right Places of Worship, Every corner of society under this program has been covered. With this one, as we know that 2023 is declared as an International Year of Millets. Under this initiative, FSSAI also have completed or accomplished many activities. For example, like we start from January, our Union Minister Health and Family Welfare, Mr. Mansukh Mandaviya ji, has launched a beautiful International Year of Millet-based calendar. This calendar is not a normal calendar. It reflects or depicts you all information which require to be shared with all the Indian citizens and general public. In this calendar, we may notify nutritional values of each millet, mota anaj, or we call poshak anaj, benefits of the millets, the location where they are grown properly. Like northeast, there is a different millet. North side, there is a different millet. East, west. So it's entirely depends on the production of millets, and all information is given in the calendar. Apart from this calendar, in March 2023, dates 18 or 19, with the help of Ministry of Agriculture and under the aegis of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, FSSAI organized brainstorming session and invited most of the prominent national and international speakers on the topic millets. How to consume, what are the benefits. As we know, there is a high percentage of non-communicable disease in India as well as world. We know that non-communicable diseases are the most important topic that they have grabbed the attention from worldwide level. So to reduce this percentage, we organized a session on millet-based health benefits, millet-based recipes, how to consume, at what quantity, how to use this. Means there are so many millets which used in cold format and hot format. मतलब आप किसी मिलेट को आप गर्म सतह से ले सकते हैं और किसी मिलेट को आप ठंडी सतह से ले सकते हैं. Like in monsoon, you may use kodo millets. In this winters, you may use bajra millets, because every millet will be beneficial for you when you consume it according to the winters, according to the weather or climate conditions. Apart from this is a book, Shri Anna. I think, is it visible? Yes. This book, Shri Anna, a holistic overview about the millet, has been launched by our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi sir on 18 March. This book comprising about the benefits of the millet, standards of the millets, nutritional value of each millet, और साथ ही कि मिलेट्स जिसे हम पोषक अनाज भी कहते हैं, हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति से वो किस तरीके से जुड़ा हुआ है, उसके बारे में भी पूरी जानकारी आपको इस किताब में मिल सकती है. FSSAI ने after this launching of this specific book, we also launched healthy menu recipe book for mess and canteens. As we know, in our kitchen at home, we can use the food, but those who are working or those who are going schools, आज के समय में हर जगह कहीं ना कहीं mess और canteens हैं, and they are using all kind of healthy recipes. But healthy recipe book based on millet for mess and canteen is specifically designed for these types of canteens. By this one, the school children's, working professionals, they may take recipes and utilize it for the benefits of them. Yes, in series of these initiatives or awareness campaign, we also covered 100 Anganwadi workers in the state of Odisha and Kerala with the collaboration of World Food Program. We had given information about millets and benefits. Apart from this, we also launched quiz competition through my government portal, and we believe more than 50,000 participations has been reported. So that means we are not giving the awareness about the millets. We are not even assuring that people or citizen of India will accept this millet in their thali, as well as हम ये भी चाहते हैं कि वो इस मिलेट्स के बारे में, पोषक अनाज को भी अपनी संस्कृति के साथ जुड़कर देखें और उसके बारे में जानकारी भी। इसके साथ साथ हमने मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस के साथ अभी फिलहाल रिसेंटली में ही एक मेमोरेंडम ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग साइन किया है फ्रॉम बिटवीन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ हेल्थ एंड फैमिली वेलफेयर एंड मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस, जिस पर हमारे जो भी आर्मी पर्सोनल है वो किस तरीके से मिलेट बेस्ड रेसिपीज को यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं। एज वी नो कि आर्मी पर्सोनल किस परिस्थितियों से किन किन जगहों पर उनकी पोस्टिंग होती है, किस किस तरीके से उनका अपनी दैनिक जीवनचर्या रहता है। इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर देम टू टेक ऑल टाइम सप्लीमेंट्स। बिल्कुल भी पॉसिबल नहीं है कि जो लोग सरहदों पर खड़े हैं उनको पौष्टिक भोजन आसानी से उपलब्ध हो सके। लेकिन एफएसएसएआई ने एक कोशिश की है एमओयू साइन करने के तहत कि हमने एक डेवलप किया है उनके लिए बुक, सो दैट विद दैट रेसिपी वो रेसिपीज को वो अडॉप्ट करें जो कि बहुत इजीली अवेलेबल है, हर जगह अवेलेबल है। मिलेट्स और पोषक अनाज की सबसे खासियत ये है कि वो कम समय, कम वाटर के साथ, विदाउट पेस्टिसाइड्स के साथ और इन्वायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली होने के साथ साथ वो कहीं पर भी उनका प्रोडक्शन किया जा सकता है। सो विद दिस ऑब्जेक्टिव और विद द मेरिट ऑफ दिस मिलेट हमने इसको लिया और इसके बेस पर कई बुक्स को लॉन्च किया। उनमें जो रेसिपीज दी वो हमारे हाईली न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट या जो हमारे डाइटिशियंस रहे हैं, भारत के जो जाने माने हमारे न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट रहे हैं, उनकी कमेटी बनाकर इन बुक्स को डेवलप किया गया है। ऑल्सो आई वुड लाइक टू हाईलाइट, इसके साथ साथ हमने सोशल मीडिया, एज वी नो कि आज के समय में हर पर्सन, एवरी पर्सन इज अटैच्ड विद एनी काइंड ऑफ सोशल मीडिया, ईदर इट इज फेसबुक, ट्विटर, इंस्टाग्राम और यूट्यूब। हमने उस कैटेगरी को भी फॉलो किया और टारगेट किया, एंड विद दिस ऑब्जेक्टिव वी स्टार्टेड campaign on Sunday as well as on Monday regarding millet based recipe, जिसका नाम है रविवार रेसिपी और मंडे मिलेट्स। दोनों रेसिपीज अलग होने के बावजूद भी हमने ये ध्यान रखा कि इसकी भाषा और इसकी रेसिपीज में यूज होने वाले इंग्रेडिएंट्स आसानी से हमारे भारतीय किचनों में उपलब्ध हो। हम सभी जानते हैं कि अगर हम हेल्दी कुकिंग स्किल्स की मास्टर हैं, एज अदर पैनलिस्ट टोल्ड अस, कि अगर हमारी किचन्स मॉम, हमारी जो मॉम्स हैं जो किचन्स में उनकी ज्यादातर टाइम स्पेंड होता है, इफ दे आर वेल एक्विटेड विद द गुड कुकिंग स्किल्स, तो शायद हमें डॉक्टर्स या हॉस्पिटल्स के लिए ज्यादा समय नहीं देने की जरूरत हो। सो विद दिस ऑब्जेक्टिव हमने क्विक रेसिपी बेस्ड एक बुक डिजाइन की, एज वेल एज सोशल कैंपेन में भी हम समय समय पर इन रेसिपीज को बहुत ही सिंपल भाषा में और वो रिसोर्सेज, वो इंग्रेडिएंट्स जो आसानी से आपकी किचन में अवेलेबल होते हैं को इंक्लूड करके कुछ हमने पोस्ट अभी तक पोस्ट की है। जानकर आपकी जानकारी के लिए अभी तक हम रविवार रेसिपीज में 32 पोस्ट अभी तक कर चुके हैं, एंड अंडर मंडे मिलेट्स 43 ट्रेडिशनल रेसिपीज को भी हम पोस्ट कर चुके हैं। हम सब जानते हैं इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि हम एक चीज से दूसरी चीज पर स्विच करें। 1960 में जो ग्रीन रेवोल्यूशन आया, उस टाइम पर इंडिया का मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव था कि हमें अपना प्रोडक्शन इन नंबर ऑफ ग्रेन्स इंक्रीज करना है, और उससे पहले से मिलेट्स हमारी भारतीय संस्कृति से जुड़ा हुआ है। मतलब Millets is not a new concept for us, means in Asia or in India. Everybody were well aware of it. लेकिन वो धीमे धीमे गायब होता गया हमारी पोषक वाली थाली से. मतलब और फिर उसके बाद हमने एक पेंडेमिक सिचुएशन देखी कोविड-19 की. And in this situation, we came to know कि NCDs का percentage, low immunity का percentage बहुत ज़्यादा high हो चुका है. And that time we came to realize कि no, we have to come back on our पोषक अनाज. अब हमारे लिए एक wholesome थाली का जो picture है वो ये है कि millet should be the part of that थाली. And without the millet, we cannot sustain with good health. So for the health or well-being for all citizens or all part of the society, we have done many initiatives or accomplished it also. In this series, I would like to also, in future, we are also planning to sign MOU with Ministry of Railway, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Women and Child Development and Youth Affairs, as well as sports. तो आने वाले समय में भी आप हमारी कई बुक्स को देख पाएंगे. उनमें जो डिफरेंट हमारी रेसिपीज होंगी वो डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज के लोगों के लिए होंगी. लाइक स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन के लिए डिफरेंट रेसिपीज मिलेट बेस्ड, फॉर डिफेंस के लिए मिलेट बेस्ड डिफरेंट एक्टिविटीज, फॉर स्कूल चिल्ड्रंस, फॉर आंगनबाड़ी. तो हमने कई बुक्स को अभी हमें लॉन्च करना है और MOUs भी साइन करने हैं. So for that one, our union minister has sent a letter to all the ministers of different ministries. Apart from this, I would like to also confirm under the Eat Right India movement, it's a very large movement for creating awareness among the Indian citizens. There is one Eat Right campus. Eat Right campus basically covered hospitals, jail, institution where mass of people will come and sit together and eat together. So that premises will come under Eat Right campus. Okay, so under the Eat Right campus, we have also launched Eat Right campus millet-based challenge. Under this, हमारे कई कैंपसेस ने हर हफ्ते 2 बेस्ट रेसिपीज की इंग्रेडिएंट्स, फोटोज एंड इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे साथ शेयर की है. एंड देयर आर वेरी गुड, देयर वाज अ वेरी गुड challenges and campuses who were involved in it. So we are also thankful to all the campuses also. And the last in upcoming are नन्हे मुन्ने बच्चे यानी कि स्कूल चिल्ड्रंस. हम लोग बहुत ही जल्द अपना एक ईट राइट क्रिएटिविटी चैलेंज फेज 4 भी स्टार्ट करेंगे जो कि कंप्लीटली मिलेट बेस्ड होगा, जिसमें बच्चे यानी कि स्कूल के बच्चे जो चाहे वो सरकारी हो, गैर सरकारी हो, गवर्नमेंट एडेड या फिर रेजिडेंशियल, दे विल ऑल पार्टिसिपेट इन इट एंड देयर विल बी कैश प्राइज फॉर दोज हु विल बी द विनर इन दिस चैलेंज. So this is all about the initiative taken by FSSAI under the millets. Otherwise, there were so many and number of initiatives under the Eat Right India movement for healthy and hygienic environment, health, and we always assure safe and nutritious food for all Indian citizens. And are the pillars of our Eat Right India: eat safe, eat healthy, and eat always sustainable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nimanshi. Thank you so much for explaining us all the different initiatives under the millets category that FSSAI is, inculcating. It was so interesting.
I also want to add one more line that all the resources that I've mentioned here, they are all available on our Eat Right India website. It's full of free of cost. So anyone who are interested to get this download, they are all available in different languages: Hindi, English, Bengali, Tamil, Odia, and Gujarati. So you may get this all copies free of cost from our Eat Right India movement website. Thank you so much.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing all these details, crucial information, different initiatives that different people from the professions are doing. We saw the activities being done by dietitians, from doctors, from nutritionists, as well as from the government of India. We can go on and on discussing on this topic, but as we are very short on time, we will quickly take one key takeaways from all our panelists in very few words. If we can have the takeaways, starting from Master Chef Shipra Khanna. Ma'am, can you have your takeaways, please?
So to wind up this lovely conversation, I'm getting so many inputs also from Miss Nimanshi, which was amazing. It was really amazing and commendable. And I'm really glad that, we are focusing on health now, especially after the pandemic. I think it's been a great, not a very positive. It is positive also in a way after losing a lot of loved ones. I think people have become more aware of good health and taking care of themselves. But yeah, to wind up, number one, millets, 30% of your diet can be millets, and they're really, really healthy and give you a balanced diet. It's great, loaded with fiber, loaded with minerals, loaded with, it's gluten-free. It also helps the environment because it can grow in really, really extreme conditions. So it is really helping our planet against global warming. So if eating that, you're also contributing towards global warming, I would say. So if nothing else, if this can motivate you, you should start adding millets to your diet. And other than that, I would say, yeah, they are very good for people with diabetes or, who want to, who are looking at weight management, because it is a very slow process to digest millets. It takes longer, so you feel fuller and hence you eat less. So I'll leave the rest of the points for a lot of the rest of the panelists. They can take it forward.
Yes, as we are taking very quick takeaways, Dr. Shweta, ma'am, your advice to all the viewers that are watching.
Thank you so much. I think because of our passion for this topic, we've gone on and on, like you said. I guess I always like acronyms very much. And for me, the takeaway was SHIFT, SHIFT. S for sustainability, because I don't think it is, emphasis enough on climate change, on water scarcity, which is going to happen and which is already we are experiencing. So sustainability is my key in the S. H, I think healthy, we all have emphasized in our own ways. It is absolutely healthy. It is absolutely safe to consume. So I think that is a very good highlight for me. It means income, because a lot of it gets affected by what is, we have today talked about a little bit of elite crowd, to be honest, with the recipes, with the kind of things which we were talking about. However, I think it's important to keep the income bracket in mind, and this works across all sectors. It's a cost-effective thing. So I, for me, is income, and what money is on the table for advertising about this or talking about this is also very important. F for me is it's naturally fortified. I already said that all to you, because I think the enhancement, the health benefits still need to be going out and be told to people. So F for me is fortified naturally. And last but not the least, I think that requires a lot of inputs from all of us and more stakeholders, is T. And I have lots of T's here, which is time, taste, and trending. Because I took a little bit of inputs from chefs and from all the other panelists. It should be time saving, it should be tasty, and it should be trending. So I think the Insta generation, whatever these kids, these Gen Z, they will require this in a trending fashion. Taste has to be highlighted, and time saving for all the mothers and fathers who are cooking this for their children. So I'll stop there, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shweta. Dr. Jagmeet, ma'am, your quick key takeaways for that.
I think I'd rather make it very quick because, I mean, there is no end. We can just go on.
Running out of
My
time,
quick takeaway is be local, be seasonal. And I think I would really emphasize that all of us look back to our ethnic origins, wherever we belong, identify the millet which is closest to us. It's not that one is good and the other is not good. So identify that, and innovate, think differently, how we can incorporate it, just on its own, or processing it and combining it with different foods. Every time we do that, at the back of the mind, the endeavor should be to make the nutrition matrix stronger. And at the end of the day, it is a nutri-cereal, but as a carbohydrate, it needs to be rationed. And that's a statement which goes to every Indian, that carbohydrates can never be a free food for us, because the moment we make it a free food, we undermine the importance of other nutritious components which should be a part of our daily diet. So I think quality nutrition, very important, but millets somehow fit in that quality nutrition. But connecting with our roots, innovating, finding ways, how do we get them on the plate, and always remember how much to eat. That's very, very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor. Chef Rakhi, ma'am, your quick key takeaways, please.
So, first of all, I'd like to say that, to keep our body in good health is our duty. Otherwise we will not be able to keep our mind strong and clear and be focused and get what we want from our life. So as all my fellow panelists and have said, everyone's got the perfect, I think this is one panel discussion which I'm feeling like we're all in sync, all happy with each other's thoughts. We're like kind of merging. So yes, everything has to be in a balanced diet. You need to incorporate millets because it is from our origin only. Like I said, during the we've eaten these kind of things, we've grown up. It's just that it's come in the forefront now because some of the nutritionists have pointed out, and some of the your instructors and your trainers are telling you. But at the same time, now the government is doing so much, this whole panel of everyone. So the whole combination of everyone moving together is definitely making an impact. Yes, food has to always be tasty as well. It has to be palatable. It has to be healthy. It has to be a combination. We always eat with our eyes first, then we smell, and then the taste comes in. So I've learned that as a small kid when I was cooking. My aunt always told me, it has to look exciting for you to be eating it. So if you are incorporating healthy things, you have to keep in mind that you want to make that, palatable and appeasable as well. Always combinations. I always say, everyone tells me, so I don't know if everyone knows, I keep going and saying I have a 26-year-old daughter and I have a 23-year-old son, and then they tell me, oh, what's the Raz? I said, listen, I eat everything. So I believe in curves. It's difficult to maintain them. For me, it's to each its own, because फिर बाद में, I don't want to lose that much कि फिर बाद में फिर सब दूसरी चीजें जो आजकल बहुत पॉपुलर हो गई है भरना पड़े. So I feel everything has to be in your limits, जो आपको सूट करता है, because again, I developed thyroid after COVID, and apparently it comes in a little later at the age. So there are some millets which are allowed.
Keep it very quick, please. Yes.
So I'm just saying that there are some millets which are allowed in thyroid, which are not. So I think it's each its own. We've had a whole fine balance, and good luck. And yeah, we all take the whole year of millet, and not only this year, but even next year and year on, more popular.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you so much. Coming on to Ms. Nimanshi, ma'am, very quick key takeaways from your end.
Thank you so much, ma'am. मैं बस दो ही शब्द कहूंगी. Old is gold, and similar millets are our gold. So we have to move towards millets as it's a gold, and it is completely healthy, safe, and sustainable as our tagline of Eat Right India movement. And second, Poshan Thali means thodi millet wali. That means we are saying millets is good and good, but apart from the millet, rice, curd, milk, and other things, fruits, fats, carbohydrate, wheats, others are very important apart from the millets. So my tagline for this this webinar, Poshan Thali means thodi millet wali. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
I like that.
Yes.
Thali, thodi millet wali.
Because we cannot ignore other grains also.
Exactly, that is what I've been saying. उसको हमें थोड़ा incorporate करना होता है, वो पूरा कभी होता भी नहीं है. Never. आप पूरे रागी का बनाओगे तो वो कोई खा ही नहीं. ऐसे मैं फेंकूंगी तो सर में कंकाशित हो जाएगा हमारे.
And from our side, FSSI always ready to give you colorful flavors to your taste. Like बच्चों कहते हैं कि millets नहीं खाना है, but we will design such kind of recipes जिसमें आपको taste भी आएगा, health भी होगी, and it's sustainable, seasonal, and everything. So once
आप वो डायलॉग एक बार वापस बोलेंगे, मुझे ये वीडियो रिकॉर्ड करनी है आपकी। पोषक
थाली means थोड़ी millet वाली। Thank you so much.
Superb. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank all our esteemed panelists for taking time from their busy schedule, imparting us with wealth of knowledge and information. I thank Master Chef Shipra Khanna for being our mission ambassador for Bharat Nutrition Week 2023. Thank you so much. Thank you. I thank Ms. Nimanshi, Manager of Social and Behavioral Change Division, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, for joining us. I thank Dr. Shweta Khandelwal, Senior Advisor, Nutrition at Jipaigo Country Office. Thank you so much. I thank Dr. Jagmeet Madan, Professor, Principal, Department of Food and Nutrition at Sir Vithaldas Thackeray College of Home Sciences. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank Chef Rakhi Vaswani, entrepreneur, author, and founder of Palette Culinary Academy, very renowned chef. Thank you so much. With that, we come down to the end of a very interesting discussion on the topic of millets and holistic health, nurturing wellness through the power of ancient grains, and come down to the end of the first panel discussion in the 4th edition of Bharat Nutrition Week 2023, Good Food for Healthy India. Stay tuned with us for the following episodes this week on different topics around nutrition. The next panel discussion is on 4th September, 4 p.m. Stay tuned with us for the same. With that, we sign off now. Stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much.